Hello everyone, this is Thirdian. I'm back from Otakon, and I will have Otakon videos up once I actually edit it. This is probably not going to be edited, it's just probably going to be raw footage because I'm too lazy right now. This is for... let me get your, name. I think it's Mini Mittens 1. Yeah, it's Mini Mittens 1. You asked how I actually made my paws. And, there's many ways of making paws, but this is kind of how I made mine. What I first did was I made a pattern. And, the paws are just sandwich paws, where it's just two pieces of material sewn together along the seams, just like right around here. Sorry, you can see that. And, yeah, so... I'll get to showing you what I did. What I did is I took a regular piece of paper. I actually had to tape multiple pieces of paper together because they weren't long enough. But anyway, like computer paper, whatever you have, cardstock. Sorry it's kind of wrinkly. It's been in a bag for like 4 months. But anyway, what I did is I traced my hand, and I had how many paws I wanted. I did 3. You could do 4 or 5 or however many your character has. I did 3, so my hands would be like that inside of the glove. That's how I decided they were going to be. I traced around my hand in the shape of a paw. Yeah, I did that with... What you could do is you could do just one and hope the other paw works with your other hand, so they're a little bit more symmetrical. Mine are a little bit different. The right hand has a little more thumb movement than the left, but it's all relative. This is actually my right hand. What I did with that is I also had it elongated so you can see how the blue material is longer than the dark material. And I had like this attached to it. It was just a long piece of paper I cut out, and this was actually the pattern for this. It's a little bit larger, but yeah. So what you would do is you would cut the blue fabric out of, or whatever fabric you have, out using this pattern first. And, but when you do that, make sure you leave about 1 inch, 2 inches, maybe even 3, depending on how your sewing skills are, on the ends, just in case you have to take it in or bring it out any. I actually had problems with this one because I didn't bring it out enough, so it was too small for my arm. It's actually too small for like anyone's arm unless you're like 5. But anyway, after that, you want to do your paw pads, which you can see with this one. All you do, kind of, if I could get the video to work, what you do is you actually draw circles or draw a template paw pad of where how you want it on the paw, and you cut it out. You cut it out using as a pattern. You get the circles like you see in these. This one's a little dirty. They're a little dirty. Sorry for that, because I wore them all weekend, and they get dirty when you wear them. But you can wash them, and it's easy. The next thing I did was I also took this, or you could use your hand. I would probably use this template before you actually cut the material out. I would go ahead and make these. These are your foam inserts, and this just kind of gives shape to the paws so they're not as floppy and they look better, especially if you're using a low pile like these. I guess a short pile, sorry. And they're really, it's a thinner material than the long pile. It would go on like this. They're not going to stretch out like this. They kind of stick together closer. And once they're actually in the material, they don't move around as much on your fingers. But it would go like that. And when you actually sew them, I would cut out the blue material. Like this dark blue I cut out was the very first thing I cut out. And then before I sewed them together, like, I don't know if you can see the seam, but before I sewed them together like this, I actually did the paw pads, and you would just take a stitch along them right here just to keep them down. And that works pretty well as long as you get them enough into the material where it's not going to come out. Next, what I would do, I didn't do this on this because I actually finished this part of the paw before I actually added this, but I would go ahead and stitch them together if you do not have two different shades. If you have two shades like this, I would go ahead and stitch this on both sides before you actually stitched them along the seams. And that's just a little heads up that I had to find out the hard way, because this is actually, I had to hand stitch all of that, and that was a pain in the butt. And also make sure it's long enough, because I also had to add an extra 2-3 inches to it because it wasn't long enough. And then what you would do is you would just label your foam inserts. You would shape them so they're in more of a paw-like form. This one looks actually a lot better in my opinion, but you would shape them so they give that form. And yeah, that's basically what you do. Then you insert them. You just put them on your hand and insert your hand, and they go on. Also, what I found when I had a problem, this is how I do it. Some people do it differently. I think it's a little more complicated, I guess. Yeah, you would take elastic. This is just a regular piece of, I think, 1.5 inch, no, inch? 3/4 of an inch. And they're labeled. But a 3/4 of an inch piece of elastic. And you would wrap it around your arm to keep these up. And it also has a piece of Velcro on it. I can't really show you because the Velcro is white, but it has a piece of Velcro on it. And it sticks really well, and it keeps your arms up if they start sagging. It's a very, very easy, quick, simple fix. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this. I actually, since I'm back from Otakon, it's been like 2 days, and I already know what I will be working on for next year. And I'll give you a heads up on that now, I guess. I guess I can announce my cosplay finally. So I promised some people that I would announce my Otakon 2011 cosplay. He will be my first boy, my first full fursuit, my first digigrade leg that I do. And if you don't know what digigrade legs mean, look it up. They're just realistic, more realistic legs than a typical fursuit. I got inspiration this year to do him from a World Ends With You cosplayer that I got to talking to after the masquerade this year. And I'll give you a few hints before I announce in case you just want to guess. I know some people like guessing. It's a boy. He's from a video game. No, it's not a Pokemon. Though I had anticipated doing another Pokemon. It will not be a Pokemon. It is actually going to be a feline. And let's just say the feline fights. And he has different forms. And if you haven't kind of guessed already, though it's probably really, really obvious, is Prideland Sora. Again, he'll premiere at Otakon 2011. I still have to do some concept sketches of how I want to do the head and do the legs. But overall, I'm just really, really excited to do him. I already have some ideas for how I want to do his hair, where I want to get the fur from, how I want to do the fur, and how I want to do the eyes. And I've learned a lot from Glaceon, so I know that this head will definitely be better on my neck and have slightly better ventilation. Though Glaceon wasn't terrible, it needed some more ventilation near the nose. So yeah, he'll be ready by Otakon 2011. And you can catch me at some Kingdom Hearts photo shoots. I will definitely be there for those. And if anybody has any ideas on how to make keyblades that will fit in my mouth, preferably light keyblades, so I won't completely rip my jaw off, go ahead and video me, comment me, do something, because I really, really need keyblade ideas, as well as just what I should make them out of. I know that there's general wood and stuff like that, but yeah, so comment me, message me, any questions. I'll have videos, update videos, etc. on him. So thank you for watching.